I'm gonna explain our open source software. What we have choice. We have to choose GitHub Enterprise for introducing our company and the team of development. Just briefly introduce of the company. We are the company Solution IT. We have the team of development. We do not have any version of the code, and then we are going to incorporate the Git for version of the code, and the open source it's gonna be GitHub for storage our repository. So how to incorporate, I'm going to explain step by step and the rules we have to identify how to use the open source. Create a main branch as a master. So create a main branch like a master. This is branch have to keep it clean and always ready for production. When some members of the team have to fix some bug, they have to create new branch from the master for fix any bug. When some members of the team is working in some functionality, the developer have to create a separate branch for do it. Every member of the team have to make the commit. This commit have to go to approve by some tech lead. The commit have to be word cleans because every member of the team have to understand what was done. It have to be easy to understand. Make the pull every day before start. Before start any activity, the member of the team have to update their branch, make the pull, push what was done before, and then starting work in the activity. Code review, it's all the member of the team have to check the code of each other and identify some problems if there is. This ensure the quality of the code. As access to repository, all the members have to create them as a private the repositories, and just the member of the team has access for those repositories, nobody else. How to manage each task by branch. If the user is working, the developers work some functionality or fix some buggy or whatever tick in the code, they have to create the separate branch for do it, and then after done it, have to make the commit for the main branch. The developer have to make a backup as well. If something went wrong, if you lost some information, it's getting easier back to the last version or recover the information. The service level agreement it's the deal between the client and the who is giving the service for just double check the open source is going to deliver all the things is there. We have made some contract between us and the GitHub enterprise. So the SLA of the available is 99.95%. So that means the service will be available in that percentage of the time for 12 months. Offer the time of the activity about 200 ms for a crash page. The GitHub will have backup every day automatically. The security is like the GitHub protect the security from the users and this possible manage and check all the activity from the users. GitHub has technical support like help desk. I'm going to explain how this support is going to work in the contract. Um, the time of the support it's going to be business hours for tickets low and middle, and support to 12 by 7 for tickets highs. Support channels it's going to be like website and phone. The number of the ticket it's going to be unlimited. The time of the response for tickets low it's going to be 3 days, middle 2 days, and high 1 hour. The time of the resolution it's going to be 5 days for low, 3 days for middle, and 5 hours for high. Questions about how to use the system have to answer by opening the ticket from the phone or website. The users will be have 100 of the hours training for how to use the system. Like I said before, the systems have to be worked by phone or by Remedy. Remedy it's the website where the GitHub manager for open tickets. The final contract is the GitHub have to deliver at least 90% of the agreement in SLA. If you bill less than it, the GitHub have to fee over 10% from all the price of the service.
Let's talk about ITIL. What is ITIL? ITIL is a framework that manages IT services, and ITIL means Information Technology Infrastructure Library. It was created in 1989, and today it is used for thousands of companies. The current version, ITIL version 4, was released in 2019. The safety lifecycle has 5 stages. The first of them is safety strategy. In this stage is to understand the objective and the customer needs. The second one is safety design, where is defined the safety level and the requirements, the agreements. And the next one is safety transition, where is created the structure to implement new services or changes. The next one is safety operation. It manages the safety in production. And the last one is continual safety improvement. In this stage, we check the safety and identify the ways to improve the quality. We choose some practices to implement the open source. The first is risk management. When we implement an open source software, we have to identify and analyze the impacts and the risks, and we have to analyze them. For example, what are the risks to the business if GitHub is discontinued or natural disaster occurs? What are the risks if users don't adapt to the software? And the other practice is server level management. It's about the SLA. Flip talked about it before. And in this stage, the SLA is defined. The next practice is information security management. This practice to ensure reliability, integrity, and the availability. For example, definition and control of which users may have access to GitHub and which types of access are allowed, the policy about remote access, between others. The next practice is change management. It's about any change in the software. Change can be proactive to generate benefits. For example, create a new button on GitHub that allows merge more easily. Or changes can be reactive to solve problems. For example, changes in merge to correct a problem. The next practice is incident management. The objective is to restore the normal safety operation as quickly as possible. Uh, all the incidents must be reported using a specific tool or by telephone, and they have to follow some rules, like they have to have dates and who register, the priority description. Some examples of incidents are GitHub is slow, user cannot commit. When incident is urgent and top priority, such as GitHub nobody can access, it's unavailable. Escalation of the incidents to the responsible are allowed. The next practice is problem management. The objective is to prevent problems and the incidents and to eliminate recurring incidents. For example, after problems are identified, they must be reported using a specific tool and the same way of incident management. Uh, Example of a problem. User cannot clone a product. They have a solution. It was an incident before, but the cause was a problem. So they have to solve this problem to fix the problem and the root cause. The benefits about use the open source, it's cost reduction, security, high availability. There are a lot of benefits in using open source, and the benefits of using GitHub, it's code sharing, it's the best version control. The accessibility is good because it's easy to use, so there are a lot of benefits to use the GitHub. It's the most popular tool to version, and that's it. Thank you.